All right. Hey guys, it's Dami from Clientele Boosters, and today we're going to explore a mini community build out for a podcast. This is going to be an exciting one. First of all, guys, what's a mini community? A mini community is part of a mega community. Now, a mega community is a group of high intent buyers, customers, clients, participants, or fans that want to work with you. And then the business, the mistake that many people make is they just promote the business or just promote their idea, but they don't personalize it at all, right? So the goal of a mega community is to allow that personalization to permeate into your business and the culture, okay? So what's a mini community? A mini community is basically like a fragment. So if you look at mini community, it's like, let's use an easy example. It's like me wearing this shirt. You know, humans don't walk around naked anymore. So when you go outside of your house, you wear shoes, you wear socks, you wear pants, you wear shirts, you maybe wear glasses like me if you're cool, right? So it's a fragment or a piece of the overall puzzle, which is the mega community, okay? So first and foremost, I own a company called Clientele Boosters, nicknamed CB. And today we're going to be talking about mini communities, small c and s for mini communities. And we're going to be looking at the podcast industry. Now, we actually had a podcast client, half owned by two people, or run by two people. One was in Sydney, one was in Miami. So and I also run a production company, which in my opinion has a lot more, podcasts can be complex, but when you're running like a full scale production and you're doing that across different parts of Australia and Asia Pacific, that has its own complexity. We're actually heading up to Bali for that in the next 2 months, but that's a separate conversation. Anyway, so in this mini community, we're going to be using social media as the focus. We're going to be focusing on socials, okay? And let's call this podcast Champs. I think that's already a podcast, but let's just say Champs. Okay? So one thing that people are aware of but aren't that intentional of is, having different types of accounts created for one brand. So what most people will do is they'll do this: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Let's go Facebook, TikTok, and most of them will just start with that. Obviously YouTube Shorts as well. YouTube, because it's a podcast, right? But what people don't think about is how much depth you can go into each platform. So for example, with YouTube, you can have a main account, you can have a clips account. You can run this play across many other social media platforms, okay? So you can have a main account, clips account, same for IG. And then Facebook, for the sake of this example, we'll keep it easy, main account only. TikTok, you can definitely have TikTok, is a whole different beast. Main account, clips account, okay? So this is, again, one layer above the rest, because a lot of people won't have the clips, and clips. So that's an additional 3 accounts already. And we've just started the video, okay? Now, another thing that I have done for one of my businesses, and that I definitely recommend once you've established some sort of core following, like if we're going to use an arbitrary number, let's just say you've gotten your first 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. If you've started to realize the trends in where most of your viewers live, so for one of my businesses, we at one point had a large German following. At one point we had a large Philippine following. At one point we had a large Indian following as well. And most of our viewers are in the US. So what I would do, there's so many things I could talk about here, but then I would have let's just say, for the sake of this example, because Spanish is one of the biggest languages in the world, I'd have Spanish clips account. I'm just going to say SC for the sake of this example. Instagram, same thing. Spanish clips. TikTok, Spanish clips. Okay? So again, you now have an additional 3 accounts more than your competitor. Now, this is not about dilution. This is strategic. And it's strategic because many communities will build over time. And they amalgamate and push back to the mega community. And the mega community for this example is Champs. All of this stems from Champs. But what people don't think about is how deep can I build with just this one platform? You can have 10 mini community plays just off YouTube. People just don't think big enough, okay? So that's a quick example. Now, another thing you can do is you can actually incentivize conversation. So by creating groups. So for example, Facebook, right? We'll stick with one account. There's so much you can do on Facebook. Facebook can have a Facebook group. that posts all of the content. So you can actually have, and there's a way to do this. I'm not going to go into the depth of this today. But there's a way you can actually post, like have everything that's being posted across these different Instagram and Facebook accounts and redirect it back to the Facebook group. So it looks like the Facebook group is posting like 4 or 5 times a day. And it's like, what? How are these guys doing it? Do they have a whole marketing department? It's like, no, they just understand how to build a mini community, okay? And then in the Facebook group, you can have polls. So for example, if Chance is about, let's just say, the texter business or the highlighter business, green or blue could be, you know, like every day there could just be questions, green versus blue. And by the way, I'm saying this because I've done it and I'm doing it actively, okay? Green versus blue as an example, right? And you could have those going 7 times a week, every day, right? And you could do the same thing on YouTube, polls, and the same thing on Instagram, on each Instagram account. So now you're not only active on these various accounts, but you're actually incentivizing engagement, which is another issue most podcasts have. They'll have 200 followers on Instagram for like 3 years or 100 subscribers on YouTube for 5 years. And I'm not saying it's an easy game. You know, like I said at the time of this recording, my personal YouTube channel has like under 100 subscribers. But I've also got a YouTube channel that has over 11,000 subscribers. And that was achieved in less than a year and a half, all organically with no paid ads. And we've generated over 1 billion views for that same company organically, right? On TikTok. So like, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to the long and the short-term game of this, which is why I'm happy to give so much good content, because I know one video of mine can equal like 25 pieces of content across a variety of platforms, right? So these are a few really quick examples. There's so much more depth one can go into, but I want to keep this one short. I just want to incentivize some thinking. If you want more game like this, then just click the link below. There's a group called Mega Community Builders where I give free information just about like marketing, how to think, and just strategy, much similar to this. And I go into how to use Facebook, how to use TikTok. We actually have walkthrough videos. It's like 25 videos plus in the free group. But I also just share daily insights about things that I'm learning, how I've learned it. And you guys can steal from that. Now, if you want personalized help and you really want us to come in and pretty much put in an infrastructure that's going to make sure that over 1, 2, 3 years, you have a massive podcast where things are working, things are clicking, you have a flow, you're getting high-level guests. People sometimes wonder, Dami, how do you recruit hundreds of cast members for the production company of yours called Start Central? Like, we have a flow for that. And that uses another pillar of a mega community, which is remote sales teams. And we have a remote sales team that actually just headhunts people, and they're incentivized on a salary plus commission structure, which is very inexpensive for us as a company because we don't hire them locally in Australia. We hire them overseas. And I'm not talking about Fiverr or Upwork. We do it in a very specific way that's clean and it's organized and it works every time. That's how we've been able to grow to, Melbourne, Gold Coast, Sydney, New Zealand, and we're going to Bali. And that's next. And then we've got that's most of Asia Pacific. That's popularized, at least, for the content that we make. But yeah, if you guys want that personalized help, then there's a link all the way at the bottom called Mega Community Consulting. It's not cheap. It's a 5-figure investment. So if you're new to this, then don't worry, that's not for you. Join the free stuff. But if you want more of a personalized approach, then that's where you would like to go. All right, guys, till next time, much love. Think mega, keep pushing. Let's get it. Bye-bye.